Alright, welcome to the very first Tesla Autopilot test of 2021. We're in the new 2021 Model 3 refresh. Not really used Autopilot at all in this car. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn it on now and we're just going to see how the car gets on, because it's been many months since we've actually used Autopilot. So hopefully we're going to have some significant improvements. So right now there is a lorry in front, so we're not actually going at the speed limit of 60. There is a quite difficult sharp turn coming up in a second as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Autopilot copes there. When we have done Autopilot around this corner in the past, it's gone at it way too quick, so we'll just see. I'll also be very conscious of that car behind me as well, because it's a tiny bit close, but we're coming up to that turn now, so let's just see how it does. I'm not going to intervene, I'm not going to mess with anything. I think we're going to go around quite a nice speed, just because that lorry in front is kind of controlling our speed and stopping us from going above 50 miles an hour. But here it goes. Keep my hands on the wheel, but I'm not actually turning it at all. So it's slowed us down from 43 to 39 as we go around, which is really good. And it's gone down to 37. And now I'm not going to press the accelerator or anything, I'm just going to let it speed up in its own time. So we're still on 37. Obviously the car in front it's keeping a really nice distance from. And now it's slowly going back up as we're on a straight. So it nailed that. However, I think that is mainly because of the vehicles in front slowing us down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change the car distance from 4 to 3, which should push us a tiny bit closer to the car in front. And we'll just see how it gets on. But so far, it's doing all of this absolutely perfectly. We're not having any kind of issues. All right, got a little bit of a turning. See how the car does. You can see my hands aren't on the wheel. It's turning completely by itself. A little bit of a blind summit up ahead. But once again, no real issues, and it did it at a nice speed for all of the cars around us. So now we're going into a 30, but I believe I still have to manually click on the screen to say that I want to go 30, because at the moment... Oh no, I take it back. Auto steer restricted to 30 miles an hour. It's been a bit funny though. That was weird. It took us down to the right speed, and then it pushed forward for some reason, so we're actually going at 33 even though auto steer is limited to 30. So I don't quite understand that, but it looks like it's going to take us around this fairly tight little corner quite nicely. Obviously keeping my hands on the wheel. We're a bit close to the middle of the road, so I think that's going to have to be our first intervention. Yeah, as we got around that corner it was just pushing me a bit too close to the middle for the cars in front. But if we take a look at this, stopping for traffic control in 100 feet. So it's actually going to brake at that junction. You can see it's clearly showing the junction line, which is really nice because it's not done that previously. So I'm just going to let it do its... Actually, I'm going to take over and I'm just going to do this bit manually because it was stopping a bit far from the junction. Obviously, it's just being careful, which is great, but that was my opportunity to take over and now we can go back into Autopilot. Road markings on this part of the road aren't very good at all, but it seems to be doing... Yeah, it actually copes with that quite well. I got a bit scared. It's telling me to grab the steering wheel as we approach this roundabout. It can't do roundabouts at all at the moment, so I am going to have to intervene in a second. I'm just going to say that we're going right. Yeah, there we go. So it's braking us here. So I'm just going to take over, so I'm in control of the car once again. So we can go around this roundabout. And then as soon as I can go on Autopilot again, I will. So we can go on Autopilot now. And there we go. You saw that it thought that a bus stop sign was a stop sign on the road. So if I try and go above 30 with the steering wheel, you can see that it does limit me to 30 miles an hour because that is the speed limit. However, when you're on the motorway, it does let you go over 70 miles an hour. Got a couple of wheelie bins coming up. Do they show up on the map? Absolutely they do. Very nice. What about the next one? There it is. Beautiful.
Oh, another.
And one last one, and now we're approaching a 40 as well, so let's just see what the car does. Shows the 40 really nicely, and you can see that it's keeping us at 30 until I click that, and now it's going to start accelerating us up to 40. So it does not do that automatically at this point in time. Got quite a sharp corner coming up. How's the car going to do around here? I'm not going to press anything. I will obviously hold on, get ready to intervene. So it's slowing us down to 35. It's warning me that auto steer is limited and I need to be prepared to take over. And it was okay, that was fine. So now we're going to click there so that it takes us up to 60 and we can spin around this road. So it's just nice and casually accelerating. And now these roads get a little bit trickier for Autopilot because they are much tighter. So I can't turn Autopilot on here at all because there's no lane markings, so you can see the little wheel isn't there. There is a lorry coming as well, so I'm just going to wait here. And oh, there's also a cyclist, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Oh, maybe we'll see the cyclist on the map. That is what I am hyped for. So I think we're in a good position. Where's our cyclist? Oh, you've ruined my life. I'm so heartbroken right now. Why did we not get to see? We didn't show anything. I wonder if it's because the vehicle was stopped. I wonder if that's why. Oh, I like seeing our wheels move. That looks so weird.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. I've never actually noticed that before. That's so weird looking, isn't it?
Woo.
So still can't turn autopilot on because there's no lane lines at all on this part of the road. But you will see as soon as we are able to turn autopilot on, a little wheel will pop up right there. So it should be, if I just accelerate, you can see the lane markings are showing up now, so wait for it. There it is. Now I do this, and this is a very sharp corner, so I'm not quite sure what it's going to do. I think we're approaching it way too quickly. I had to take over. I got a bit scary. So you can see there, obviously it did that first. Oh, hang on, there's a bike. Let's see the bike. Please show me the bike. I'll get really sad if it doesn't show the cyclist. There we go, that's more like it, perfect. So you saw that time on that corner, we went round it way too quick, whereas I think the only reason it did that first corner so well is because of the cars in front keeping us below 60 miles an hour, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, let's go back onto autopilot and we can see how we get on. Now there is a pedestrian on the side of the road, and I would love to see what happens, but I think we would just crash into them and murder them, so I think I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, we're just accelerating faster and faster towards them, so I'm going to take over. That noise that you hear, the little ding-dong, that's me going out of autopilot. Yeah, I think we definitely would have just rammed straight into that nice lady.
I don't think she even showed up on here.
No, she did not show up on the map, so obviously that is really concerning. Okay, what we're going to do here, so we've got a train track. So I've whacked us on autopilot. The train barriers are down at the minute, so it should just stop us nicely behind this vehicle. But first what we'll do is we shall click to go into a 60, and now this is where it gets a bit dicey because I reckon it's just going to accelerate us faster and faster towards this car. So I'm going to get ready to brake, but I think it should brake for us, so we should be okay. See, right now it's just going way too fast. Look how quickly we're going.
We're so close as well.
And now it's braking heavily, so I let it do that itself. It got a bit dicey, but we're okay. So it's actually stopped for the traffic lights. It thinks those are actual normal traffic lights, which is why you can see they're flashing back and forwards. But you'll see that red barrier line there. That means the car isn't going to go until I press the accelerator and give confirmation that I want to proceed forward. What I will do is I'll press it right now and we'll see what happens with the car. So I've pressed it and nothing happened. It's still staying red. Normally it should go green, so I'm guessing that is because of the vehicle in front. But everything's showing quite nicely for what is actually in front of us. So now we'll just sit and wait for the train to go past. But what I will say is you saw we were accelerating really quickly towards this car. It did brake in time and it stopped us at a nice distance, but it still felt quite scary when you're actually here, and I just let it do its thing. If it'd been a second longer, I'd have taken over and I'd have manually done the brake because we were getting a bit close. Alright, now let's just wait for the train to go past. Alright, there we go. Everything has opened up, so we can continue, go over the train, whack autopilot back on. Up ahead, we've got quite a sharp corner, but it looks like this car's in no rush, so we're probably going to go around it at quite a nice speed. He's in no rush at all, isn't he? It is a 60. Here we go, we're approaching that corner now, but this guy does not want to go above 36 miles an hour in this 60, so we're going to go around it nice and easy. There we go, so it's doing the corner by itself. Got a little bit funny, yeah, did not nail that at all.
It's really not good around that corner.
So we've actually had issues with that corner in the past. There was a puddle there one time and it just drove us straight into the puddle and off the road. And then this time you saw there weren't really any issues. There was no puddles or anything to confuse it, but it still was about to drive us into the curb over on the left. So thank goodness this car in front does not... Why is it still going so slow?
He keeps driving on the wrong side of the road as well.
Yeah, not great. Anyway, we'll whack ourselves in autopilot. This is such a wide open road, yet they're still going 35 miles an hour. That's so weird. And it's not like we're too close behind them or anything.
Maybe.
Oh, the car behind us is attempting to overtake both vehicles. That's how slow this guy in front is going. You can see he could do that in no rush at all. Oh my god, we've got up to 41 miles an hour. Right, I'm gonna keep tight hold of the wheel just in case. We are approaching a junction though. Obviously, autopilot can't do junctions at all. Look how nice it looks though with the spring coming out. That's delightful. So as we approach this junction, let's just take note of how the car stops us behind this vehicle. So it's slowing us down now as the Kia slows down. We're going down from 38 down to 32. You can see he's braking. Now we're at 25, and let's just see exactly where it does stop us. So it's just warning me to apply for the wheel. So now what's going to happen? I'm just going to see what happens. Okay, so it aborted autopilot because we reached the junction and it can't do junctions at all. What I will say is it did not stop us. It actually wanted to keep driving forward, which wouldn't have been good because you saw there were cars there. Normally when it does all those beeps, it kind of just stops where it is, whereas that time it did not, which could have been really dangerous if I wasn't paying attention. Oh, we have 3 cyclists coming up. Let's see how they're portrayed on the map, if at all. Let's go. Oh, there we go. So that seems like a common theme. It seems like when there's a group of cyclists, they're always just portrayed as one cyclist unless they're really far apart, which is fine. I'd like to see the 3 cyclists, but you know, whatever. So we could turn autopilot on here, so I might try it, see what happens. You can see it spotted the junction line, which is really impressive, I would say, and it is stopping for it. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I like that. And it stopped a bit too far back, but I'd rather it stopped there. So if I was to press the accelerator now, you can see it stops being red and it would have just driven straight across, which I don't want to do because it's quite a blind turning, so I have to actually do this manually, nice and carefully. So what I'm going to do now is once this lorry gets past, I'm going to turn autopilot on. Oh, it doesn't look like I can because there's not... Oh wait, there we go, it's on. So autopilot's on because of the road markings, however, the road markings are now non-existent. So I want to see what the car does along here. I think it's seeing this crease in the tarmac as a lane, which is quite interesting. And to be fair, it is doing it correctly. We're staying on the right side of the road because of that. We've got a parked car, so let's just see what autopilot does. And it's just going to stop us behind the parked car. So, and now nothing's going to happen until I intervene, so we shall go ahead and do that. But I think because I've gone out of autopilot, I think I'm going to struggle to turn autopilot back on because of the road markings on this part of the road, but we shall give it a try, you never know. Yeah, so you see the little steering wheel's not turning on, so that means that we're not going to be able to turn autopilot on. So let's turn around and let's do some more roads. Okay, we've turned around because Becky and I have had a little chat and we think it might be quite interesting to see what the car looks like from the exterior when it's going around that really tricky corner where it aborted. Let's see what it actually looks like on autopilot from the outside. So we're going to drive back there, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn autopilot back on, and you can see that it is stopping right here. Oh, look at that. I really love this section because everything on the map is just portrayed so beautifully. You can see the 30, you can see the stop sign, you can see the other 30. And if I actually manually reverse, you even get to see the word stop is written on the road, which is absolutely beautiful. So wait, watch this when I get close to it. There it is, look at that. How good is that? Yeah, I absolutely love that. I just love being able to see stuff on the screen, like the wheelie bins and the cyclists. Anyway, shall we turn autopilot back on while we can? So let's see how it gets on along this road. Loads of beautiful, pretty daffodils. Very, very nice. So you can see that we're still on autopilot, but the road markings are basically non-existent. There's a tractor coming up, so I want to be careful we stay on the right side of the road. Yeah, it did it fine. And yeah, these are very old road markings that aren't really that visible, yet we are still on autopilot, which is nice. It's keeping us in the right area of the road as well, and it's really sunny, so that's quite impressive with the cameras. Let's see what it does at the junction though, because obviously at the last one it did try and murder us. So hopefully it's going to start slowing down. It is not. Okay, I shall slam on the brake. So for that time, for some reason, it didn't notice the T-junction like it did when we were on the other side of the road. But either way, we shall head over and we're going to turn autopilot on. We'll be able to go much faster this time as well, which is great. So it should take us up to 60. And when it gets up to 60, I'm going to see if it'll let us go any faster if I change the speed manually. Alright, so we're approaching 60 now. Once we just move the wheels so they know I'm still around. So it's keeping us on 59. So if I try and manually go faster, auto steer is restricted to 60. So I guess it's only on motorways where you're allowed to exceed the actual speed limit. We've got a reasonably tight corner coming up right now. Let's see how we get on. Feels fast. Taking us out into the middle of the road. We went way too far in the middle of the road there. That wasn't really good at all. If there was a car on the other side, that would have caused some issues. I think those 3 cyclists are just around this corner. It is slowing us down nicely this time. Oh, there they go. Okay, so I've gone out of autopilot because of the cyclists. As you can see, once again, they are just oh, for a second, we saw 2 cyclists. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at them dancing around. So that corner over on the right, that's where we're going to drop Becky off, so that we can see what autopilot actually does when I go around that corner, because it's a bit of a troublesome corner, this one. Here we go, let's manually pull in here and drop Becky off. Alright, farewell Becky, I'm going to drive up there, turn around, you film me from the other side.
Good luck, Jack.
Thanks Becky, appreciate it. Okay, we do not wish to keep Becky waiting, so let's get out of here. There's cyclists everywhere, look at them all! How many show up on screen? Just the one, boo! Okay, we're gonna turn around in this car park, which is full to the brim. There are cars everywhere, so it'll be nice to see how they are portrayed on the map. We've got 3 people having a nice picnic as well, which is always delightful. Alright, so we're going to pull out of here and then we can engage Autopilot. So I'm not going to reduce the speed or anything, we're just going to let the car reduce its speed for us. So we can turn Autopilot on now. There's no cars behind me or anything. Of course, I'm ready to take over, so we're accelerating towards the corner at the moment. There is a car there, but it'll get out of the way in time, which is good. It slowed us down to 30, which is good. And now, it's getting confused, And that's when I had to manually take over. Cruise control unavailable, so it's aborted us. So yeah, got a little bit confused in the middle. Oh great, here we go. Let's turn Autopilot on, see if we run these cyclists over or not. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't run them over. It keeps us down to 12 miles an hour. So we should be able to safely take over here. So yeah, back to the corner. You see, it struggled a little bit in the middle. And then, oh my god, what is going on? The cyclists everywhere. Guys, I'm trying to talk about Autopilot. So yes, it got a little bit confused in the middle. And then when it reached that crucial part, it just completely aborted as well. Anyway, what we'll do is we shall turn Autopilot on. And it can see the cyclist already. But at this distance, it thinks they're a motorbike. But it is aware of their speed. And you can see, although it's set to a max of 60, we're right now approaching at 22 miles an hour, which is great. And now it's just going to slow down, it's not going to get too close to them, so that's fantastic. I don't feel comfortable taking over at this stage because it is a 60 road, someone might be going 60 around the corner. So instead, let's turn Autopilot on and let's just enjoy the cyclists. Oh, we've got a tractor. It's slowing us down for the tractor. I'm going to take over. Oh, that looked so weird on the map. Oh, I love seeing all the different cyclists pop up. Hopefully you can see them okay. This is gonna look so funny if Becky's filming. We're going around this corner beautifully at 11 miles an hour. This is fantastic. Oh, it slowed us down to 9. There's Becky. All right, how well is it gonna do? Let's give a little wave around the corner nicely. Excellent. And now it's aborted, which is quite interesting. The guy's telling me I can take over. How kind of him. Let's go ahead and do that. That's so funny. Oh man. Alright, for our last final test, we're going to see, will the car drive over the train tracks at a safe speed? Because generally, you have to go over at about 25 miles an hour unless you want to risk making air. Whereas previously, it's never slowed us down correctly. So I'm going to turn Autopilot on and we'll just see how we get on. I am too scared to approach it at 60 miles an hour, so I think I'm going to manually go down to 40, perhaps. But really, it should go even slower than that. So it's lowering us down to 40 now. There's no cars or anything behind us, which is perfect. Hopefully it slows down as we approach the train tracks, because 40 is just a bit too quick. Is it going to slow down? No, it's not. It's not slowed down. It's not slowed down. It's not slowed down. Okay, brilliant, no problem. So I did slow us down to about 38 from the 40, but clearly that's not slow enough. I don't know what it's doing, but for some reason it just doesn't see those blind summits as much of a risk as they should be to the car, particularly when it's so reliant on being able to see what's in front of it. But anyway, on that note, I guess it's time to end off this video. It's been really fun doing an Autopilot test. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Click that like and subscribe button if you did. And also, very exciting news, Traffic Cone Becky U2's plushie is available April 30th. Becky and I absolutely love this design, so you'll be able to pre-order this thing on April 30th. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later.